couple years, we've been getting a lot of book-to-movie adaptations, like The Giver, Hunger Games 2.0, Hunger Games 3.0. Sometimes these films can wow you with how they interpret the novel and put it on screen. And sometimes they don't. This is Lord of the Flies. Yes, this is the 90s film based off the book written by William Golding in 1954. I know there was another film made in the 60s, but I've never seen it, nor am I going to talk about it. I'm just going to be focusing on this masterpiece. So the film starts off giving us a calming view of the ocean. Hi there, are you the protagonist? Because you don't really look so... Oh, there it goes. So it appears that some kids from a military school crashed into the ocean as they blow up a raft. They then proceed to row their way to a conveniently placed island. Once they get on the island, it magically becomes night, and they see that the one adult who survived is terribly injured. Okay, know how this goes down? We are eating the adult first.
I'm thirsty. Yeah, me too. I'm hungry.
Okay, that right there is the face of a killer. Take him down.
We're all thirsty and we're all hungry.
That's why I'm saying. The adult is right there. Here, I'll tie up his legs.
We should just try and get some sleep.
I fail to see how that helps the situation. So in the morning, one of the boys, named Simon, wakes Ralph up. Sir. So Simon shows them a lake he found, and they all drink. However, this kid, named Piggy, is thinking of more important things.
What's that?
It's a conch. My granny had one. If it had a hole in it right there, you could really blow it.
Yes, I know, when I get onto an abandoned island, the very first thing I do, where are the seashells? Just where are they? Find them, just get the seashells. So they call the rest of the boys with the conch that they just established wouldn't make any noise, and they have a meeting.
Okay, listen up. Whoever holds the conch gets to speak. That's the rule.
Is this like assembly, sir?
Yeah. Except anybody who wants to speak gets to.
My God, I don't know what it is. Just stop looking at me like that.
Like I said, this island's probably uninhabited.
But we don't know. We've got to explore more.
Right, there's a lot of things we gotta do. But the main thing is, we're not by ourselves.
One of us is a murderer!
We got Captain Benson.
Okay.
Nobody knows we're here. They know where we were going, but they don't know where we are because you never got where we were going.
Where were we going?
You didn't know where you were going? Put him back down! So the group decides to vote Ralph as their chief instead of Jack over here.
Doesn't matter who's in charge.
Yes, it does. So after that, they begin building a camp or something, as Piggy just kind of stares at them. Lots of help. However, him and Jack get into an argument of epic proportions.
So we've got to take precautions, or it won't matter. What won't matter? Once we get rescued,
You better start learning to live with yourself, because we ain't gonna get rescued.
what are you talking about?
Just being logical. A plane goes down in the middle of the ocean. There's no wreckage. Who's gonna find us?
Why don't you just shut up?
Are you telling me to shut up?
What we need around here is positive people.
Okay, who cast Piggy as a middle-aged New York housewife?
What we don't need around here is you, brain.
Watch your mouth, Jack. I'll eat you next. Never thought I'd ever hear myself say that before. So the group attempts to make a fire, but can't seem to manage it.
Hey, wait a minute. Piggy, give me your glasses.
Hey, give them back.
Trust me.
So they get a fire going and begin to tell ghost stories for whatever reason. You do realize food is necessary, right? I mean, the adult guy isn't far away to whatever.
But he had to keep going, because the thing was behind him. The pus was everywhere. He could feel it, and all the while, the thing behind him kept coming closer. And then, suddenly, he realized it wasn't any normal kind of plants or bushes he was trying to run through. It wasn't the leaves or plants that were brushing up against him, touching his arms and face. It was thousands of claws, long claws, grasping at him.
Okay, so what you're saying basically is that there is a figure of sorts that is currently being surrounded with pus, and is also being chased by a quote-unquote, in your own words here, another figure. And while he's running, he's currently being grabbed at by what I can only describe as vines, which just so happen to also be claws. Yeah, I know. Very interesting, but can I just ask, where are the seashells? Seriously, has anyone found the seashells?
We got it made. No parents, no teachers, no academy, no girls. Of course, I wouldn't mind getting a little every now and then.
Are we talking about like a fraction of a girl, like an arm or a leg? Because I don't really think that's gonna be too helpful unless you have like a weird thing for arms. Ooh, I don't want to know. Meanwhile, Jack and his hunters get ready to, well, hunt, I guess.
Ew. Jesus Christ.
Wow, who knew that the hunters were actually going to have to kill things? Those monsters. Yep, that's concerning. So later, Ralph and Piggy are gathering coconuts? Rocks? Seriously, what the hell are they carrying?
I've been thinking about a clock. We could make a clock.
You and your oddly placed priorities, Piggy. Yeah, Piggy's weird clock obsession will have to wait because a plot device, I mean helicopter, shows up. So Ralph goes to shame Jack for allowing the fire to go out and thus causing the helicopter to miss them, but it soon turns into a reality TV show.
Face it, Jack, you f***ed up. We could have been rescued.
Back off, man. I'm sick of your so's my gang.
Your gang? What's that supposed to mean?
What it means, Colonel, is that if you know what's good for you, you'll stop trying to run everything.
Stop it!
Good job, Piggy. You just had to separate that intense pushing battle. So now Jack decides to split into his own tribe, and all the kids join him, of course.
I'm gonna make another camp for hunters. You guys wanna have a little fun?
Yeah!
Come on, Jack, that's crazy. We've gotta work together.
Come on, what do you say?
We're all in this together once we know.
I say you. And that goes for you too, Miss Piggy.
I'm sorry. No, that's not how logic works. I wouldn't have a problem with this if Jack had actually, done something for them. Like, why on earth would you ever side with someone who just screwed over your entire tribe, ensured that you'll never see your family again? In the book, he's humiliated by this, and it takes a while for people to put their trust back into him. But screw pacing, who needs it? So anyway, Ralph's shelters get blown away by obvious symbolism, a storm, and they have to rebuild them. Of course, they then have to put another fire together. Yes, your group has a fire, and Jack's group needs a fire. Just make sure to leave your fire totally unguarded. I'm starting to doubt your leadership skills, Ralph. Meanwhile, a kid from Jack's tribe decides to go into a cave for some reason, and gets scared by the adult who ran off earlier. Thinking him to be the monster, he brings news of the monster to Jack.
Did it have fur and poison fangs? Or long, slimy tentacles?
All of the above.
It growled, and it came out at me. It was mouth. It was wet.
But most mouths are. Later that night, when Ralph and Piggy go to sleep, Jack's tribe shows up and steals their knife. In pitch black. Whatever, let's just get through this.
Come back here! What the hell do you think you're doing?
I'm just going to go out on a limb here and say that maybe they stole your knife.
Oh, God. They broke my glasses.
glasses. How are you still alive? So in the morning, another kid named Simon goes to Jack's fort.
Anyone who wants to come up has to ask.
May I please enter your fortress of darkness then? So Simon basically asks where the cave that has the supposed monster is. However, on his way, he sees Jack and his hunters who recently killed a pig. I like how they try to make, like, a group of 9-year-olds look intimidating. Okay, so listen to this. Jack and his hunters decapitate the pig, and then proceed to place its head on a stake. I'm sorry, where was the build-up to this? How do you go from encouraging friend to Hannibal Lecter? At least the book has Jack deteriorating through the length of it. Ralph and Piggy then show up to Jack's tribe and get insulted. The tribe then proceeds to pretend one of the kids is a pig and they chase him. Best film 2015. 11 out of 10. 3 goat stars. So while this is going on, Simon finds the dead adult in the cave and runs to tell the others, running into the pig head from earlier. The tribe then mistakes him for a monster and stabs him to death? What? How does one mistake this for a monster?
Piggy, that was Simon.
Really? I thought it was a monster.
What good are you doing talking about it? It was dark.
He had a glow stick.
It wasn't our fault.
I think Simon disagrees. So the next scene is pretty legendary. Ralph and Piggy play an accordion they found in the water after Piggy confesses his fear of being placed in the Russian Olympics. Don't believe me? Well, take a look.
He said if the Russians invaded the U.S., they would take the kids and separate us from our parents. And I know it sounds weird, but they might make us go into the Olympics or something like that.
Can't you just see William Golding writing this? Truly Shakespearean. Take note of the scene. I'm going to bring it up in a couple minutes. Well, after that series of events, Jack's tribe once again attacks in the middle of the night due to Ralph's inability to prepare for things. That's nice. Ralph and Piggy then decide that they're done putting up with Jack's scrap, so they go to confront the tribe. Gee, I can't see this going wrong at all.
This is my end and my tribe. Keep your own end. You're the one that won't keep your own end. Tearing up our camp and stealing Piggy's glasses.
Yes, insult the people with the spears. That'll work out.
I've got the conch.
Here we go.
What I want to say is, if we don't get rescued, we might have to live here for a long time.
Good job, Piggy. People minus boat equals stay. You're learning. C minus.
Maybe the rest of our lives. Leave that in. We are stuck here until we get old.
My God, Piggy, you are the most annoying character since Jar Jar Binks. Every line you say kills a puppy somewhere. Every time you whine about something, a nuclear missile is fired. Every movement made by your obnoxious bones causes a hurricane in a populated area. Piggy, you are the most terrible thing about cinema. Why don't you just die? Awkward. Yeah, they just kind of kill him. Okay, didn't really see where that came from. Can't say I really blamed them that much, but still. Okay, you know how I said to keep track of the scene just before this? Well, now you know what it's there for. The scene's only purpose is to make you feel bad for Piggy's death because the writers of the script forgot to make him likable. Not only is this horribly lazy, but it also makes the scene feel completely pointless and disorienting for the audience. And really, guys, an accordion? Whatever. Yeah, this is really great, but you know what it needs? It needs accordions. Just put the accordions all over. I need accordions. So later that night, Ralph goes back to the fort for some reason. But luckily for him, the two kids that sympathize with him are guarding the fort, which he couldn't possibly have known. Let's just get this over with.
You're not allowed. Hunters are gonna come after you. Yeah, and Jack had Roger sharpen his stick at both ends.
We're just gonna skim over that. He basically just said he's going to decapitate you, and if it's fine with you, all right, whatever. So Ralph has the pleasure of waking up the next day to the island on fire as Jack's tribe looks for him.
What are you guys doing?
We were looking for the seashells. So after the kids realize that this film will be on their resume, the movie decides to end itself. And that's the movie. While it's definitely not the worst thing ever, I really can't give this one a pass. The cinematography doesn't impress me at all, the writing is on a laziness level of Transformers, and the tone is just way off. To be fair, the acting isn't completely awful. For the most part. I mean, these kids aren't winning any Oscars, but for child actors, it's pretty solid. Yes, I know you exist, but I'm getting to you in a little bit. I'm also a fan of how they use the pig's head in this film. When something goes wrong or something savage has occurred, a character runs into the pig's head. Simon ran into it on his way down the hill, and Ralph ran into it when he was being chased by Jake's tribe. In my opinion, this is a much more subtle method of connecting the title and the theme of savagery to the movie without talking to said pig's head in the novel. Yep, that was a thing. Reread the book. However, this film royally screws up its characters big time. First of all, anything that made Ralph interesting in the book has been removed in the film. In the novel, Ralph has a lot of character flaws, and that's what makes characters interesting. He was also a complete jerk to Piggy and hardly ever stood up for him like in the movie every 5 seconds. In fact, he's the one who gave Piggy his name. In the film, they apparently decided it's best to make him a flawless role model because who cares about complex characters? But yes, the biggest offender is the thing known as Piggy. My god, how does one take the most respected and dignified character from the book and turn him into this? His very presence invokes anger in me. Instead of being respectable, they make him annoying. And I know he's a kid, but the actor's just awful. He slurs his lines into incomprehensible nonsense. No, I can't really recommend this film.
We're all in this together.